Welcome everybody to Forza Motorsport 7, and today we're taking a look at the 1985 Nissan Safari Turbo. So yeah, this is a third generation from Nissan, and was sold between 1980 and 1989, though it was only ever sold as a Safari in Japan, and I think this is the only generation it was ever called the Safari in Japan, as it was sold as a Patrol everywhere else. But quite frankly, I think the Safari is a far better sounding name than Patrol. But yeah, nonetheless, this is a turbocharged, really rather quite large SUV, despite the fact it's only got two doors. And yeah, I quite frankly like the look of this vehicle. I like its winch, I like the big bumper at the front, the square headlights, I like the two-tone paint at the back, I like the turbo decals, and yeah, I just like the overall look of the thing. We don't have any other 80s off-roaders on this game, so to have something like this is yeah, pretty unique to the series itself. And you can actually trace the origins of this car all the way back to 1951, so it's quite a landmark of a car for Nissan, or Datsun as this car used to be called, because it was only renamed Nissan in 1985. So yeah, pretty 80s grey bland interior, a bit like a Nissan Sunny quite frankly. So yeah, not impressive in here, but as you can see you've got your low range and your high range gearbox there, but you can have it in two range high gear, so you can even put it into two-wheel drive if you so wish. And yeah, it is not the fastest vehicle on the game ever, certainly not, and obviously it is more suitable for off-roading than going on the track, but it's still got a decent amount of power nonetheless, especially for a car that has a 3.3 litre turbocharged inline-six diesel engine. So yeah, diesel is back once again. We've only got a couple of other diesel engines on this game, sorry. This isn't the most powerful of those, but it's hardly the slowest as well. And yeah, it produces 108 horsepower and 188 pounds-feet of torque, which is fairly decent for a diesel car from the 80s, especially when you consider the fact that diesel cars back then were very limited in how much power they could get. So yeah, it's a fairly decent amount of power, especially for an SUV as well. This isn't, you know, a saloon car or an estate or anything like that. It is a big SUV, so 108 horsepower is fairly decent, and yeah, as you can see, it's plenty of interior room. Unfortunately, we can't get into the rear for whatever reason, but yeah, as you can see, it says diesel there, and a bit of Japanese writing, and 250 kilo. I imagine that's towing weight. But yeah, nonetheless, despite the fact that this car isn't the quickest in the world, we are still going to take it out there onto the track and see what it can do. So see you when we get there. Alright, so we're at Suzuka. We're going to go around for one lap, because obviously, like I said, this isn't the fastest vehicle in the game, and yeah, see what this car is capable of. So yeah, a lot of people have been saying why is this car on the game and etc. because obviously it is an off-roader, and yeah, I have had you know, qualms with off-roaders being on this game before, but again, we do have off-roaders in general. Right, we're on the Suzuka West circuit. We're going to go around for one lap, because like I said, it's not the fastest vehicle in the world, and we're going to see what this car is capable of. So yeah, a lot of people have directed hate towards this car on due to the inclusion of it in the latest car pack, and I have generally been against off-roaders on this game, but that's more in terms of the trophy trucks, because they really are, you know, built for just going off-road, whereas these kind of cars, you know, they are also road cars. They aren't just, you know, meant to go off-road. So yeah, they do certainly have a place on this game, even if it's less so than other cars. But nonetheless, I am perfectly happy with this car in the game, because, you know, it's the first for the Forza series in a couple of ways really. It's the first 80s Japanese off-roader we've had. I think it's actually the first pre-2000s Japanese off-roader that we've had, so there is that. And obviously it is the first 80s off-roader in general we've got, because there are no others, which is again a shame, because obviously there are plenty out there, I am sure. And yeah, it's again another diesel engine car on the game as well, which is fine by me, because obviously we have a ton of petrol engine cars on this game, and even several hybrids, but not many diesels, and I know that doesn't really mean that, you know, Forza Rock Trying or anything like that, but there could be a few more out there that we could have on, but obviously not many people like diesels, and it's probably because they're quite slow, and this car really isn't going to change those perceptions with a 0 to 60 time of 16.562 seconds, and it can't get to 100 mile an hour as its top speed is 93, so yeah, not massively quick, but again, it's not a sports car, is it? Certainly wasn't meant for going massively quick either. It's meant to be able to get through the toughest terrain you can throw at it, and you know, be dependable all the way as well. So yeah, perfectly reasonable off-roader on this game. Quite frankly, it's not the best car out of the car pack. It is actually probably the worst. That's purely just because it is the slowest. But you know, like I said, it could be a whole lot worse, and there have been worse cars on a DLC car pack before. So yeah, I'm happy with it, and I do like the way it looks, like I said, and it is a little bit unique in terms of being a Japanese off-roader, which we don't have that many of, never mind from the 80s or earlier. So yeah, perfectly reasonable car to have on the game, but obviously I can see why some people have been a bit against it, but you could have had worse cars in its place, and quite frankly, as a car fan, I'm happy to have, and again, another car I've never heard of before. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.